This book isn't just about leadership. At its core, it's about life. It's about how to show up with presence, power, and purpose, no matter your circumstances. And every practice in these pages is designed to help shift three things: how others see you, how you see them, and most importantly, how you see yourself. Because long before you ever say a word, the way you carry yourself tells the world who you are. Your breath, your movement, your tone, your energy, they are all forms of communication. And whether you realize it or not, they are always speaking for you. The good news is, you can train every one of them. When you show up fully, grounded, aware, and aligned, you become a force. Someone others trust. Someone others follow. Someone others feel. And you don't need to be perfect, and you don't need to have all the answers. You just need to show up consistently, courageously, and completely. This book is your guide to doing exactly that. It's built to help you master both the internal and external disciplines that shape every moment you live. When practiced, this system strengthens your natural intuition. This is your ability to feel what's true or needed without overthinking. It becomes your inner compass, guiding you in real time. It sharpens your empathic ability. This is the capacity to tune into others, sense energy, and build deeper human connections. It also develops your instinctive awareness. This is the ability to sense, decide, and act from the intuition and this empathy without letting thoughts get in the way. It also builds adaptability, the resilience and fluidity to adjust on the fly, respond to change, and become what is needed in each moment. Together, these practices give you access to your nervous system. They sharpen your chemistry, and they ground your identity. This is not theory. This is real world. Because how you show up changes literally everything. Chapter 1, The Power of Presence. The greatest gift you can give yourself or anyone else is just being present. Presence is the foundation of powerful living. It goes beyond leadership. It's the gateway to awareness, connection, performance, and peace. Whether you're stepping into a meeting, a fight, a conversation, or even a moment of solitude, presence is what makes it real. It's the state of being fully engaged, fully alive, and fully aligned. You don't need a stage to show up. You need alignment. And that alignment begins with the integration of your mind, body, and spirit. When you are aligned, a few things happen naturally. You access calm in chaos. You respond instead of react. And you connect instead of collapse. In other words, presence is the switch that turns your power on. Presence sharpens everything. When you are truly present, you can sense tension before it erupts, opportunity before it's announced, and danger before it strikes. It's what separates those who react blindly from those who lead with clarity. Think about a fighter in the cage, a first responder in crisis, or a parent calming a child in the middle of a meltdown. None of them have time to overthink. They feel, they listen, and then they act. That's presence. And it's built through practice. Presence isn't about thinking faster. It's about thinking less and sensing more. It allows you to feel what's happening in a room before a word is even spoken. It helps you make clear decisions under pressure and connect more deeply with others. Presence is not a single skill. It's the integration of all of them. It's how your nervous system regulates, how your posture communicates, how your face transmits emotion, where your focus rests, how you breathe under pressure, the tone you use, the words you choose, and the way you speak to yourself when no one else is listening. When these elements are aligned, presence becomes embodied. You don't force it. You don't perform it. You simply arrive, calm, grounded, and aware. From that place, your body speaks clearly, your mind stays ready, and your energy leads before words ever do. Because to show up powerfully in any room, you don't need to do more. You need to be here, fully, intentionally, and on purpose. Chapter 2. Understanding the nervous system. To show up in your full power, you first have to understand the system that governs your energy, your awareness, and your response to life. That system is your nervous system. And at its core, the nervous system is your body's communication network. It controls how you think, how you feel, how you move, how you breathe, and how you respond to everything that's happening around you. Now, this system is made up of two main branches. First, there's the central nervous system, or CNS. That includes your brain and your spinal cord. Second, there's the peripheral nervous system, or PNS. These are all the nerves that connect your brain and your spinal cord to the rest of your body. And within the peripheral nervous system is the autonomic nervous system, or ANS. And this is where presence truly lies. The autonomic nervous system regulates everything you don't consciously control: your heartbeat, your digestion, your body temperature, and most importantly for our work here, your stress and relaxation responses. The ANS itself has two branches. The first is the sympathetic nervous system, or SNS. This is what triggers the fight, flight, or freeze response. It speeds up your heart rate, shortens your breath, and tightens your muscles when you're under pressure. The second is the parasympathetic nervous system, or PNS. This one activates the rest, digest, and recover response. It slows the heart, calms the body, brings you back into balance. Here's the key thing to understand. You can't always control what's happening around you, but you can train yourself to regulate what happens within you. And that's the power of this work. When you learn to manage your nervous system, you gain control over your entire state, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Every practice in this book is designed to help you do exactly that. Your breathing calms the body and resets your chemistry. Your posture signals safety and strength. Your focus channels mental energy with intention. And your movement clears tension and builds resilience. Your nervous system responds to what you repeatedly do. And by training it, you increase your control over your thoughts, your emotions, and your energy. Because when you own your nervous system, you own your state. And when you own your state, you can show up anywhere. Chapter 3, Posture. Commanding confidence without a word. Your body speaks before you do. Posture is one of the clearest, most primal signals of who you are and how you feel. It communicates confidence, authority, and approachability, or insecurity, hesitation, and fear. The moment you walk into a room, your body begins a conversation. Whether you're aware of it or not, people are listening, and so is your nervous system. Posture doesn't just shape how others perceive you. It directly affects your brain chemistry, your emotional state, and performance. Standing tall with an open chest and strong spine sends a signal of safety and stability to the brain. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, bringing calm and clarity. On the other hand, slouching, collapsed shoulders, downcast eyes, and a hanging head send the opposite message. It signals danger. You become more anxious, defensive, or withdrawn. When your body collapses, your energy collapses. When your body opens, your energy opens. And in that shift, your perspective often changes too. As you change your posture, you change your perspective. Presence starts in the spine. Your spine is more than a column of bones. It's the main highway of your nervous system. Proper alignment keeps energy flowing, awareness sharp, and breath unrestricted. Start with a neutral spine, then expand upward through the crown of your head and downward through your feet. This creates an energetic lift, a grounded presence that feels powerful without being aggressive. Actors, athletes, and high performers know this. Whether on stage, in the ring, or under pressure, elite performers train their posture to project strength and stay ready. Actors rehearse physicality to embody a role. Athletes maintain posture under pressure to stay efficient and balanced. Special forces and elite leaders train posture to remain calm and focused in chaos. You don't have to be in combat or on camera to benefit. Your life is the arena, and your posture is your silent reputation. Your posture also expresses archetypes. These are universal patterns of identity and energy. Try these forms in the mirror and feel how they shift you. Stand like a warrior, a king or queen. Become a lover, a magician, a rebel. What does it feel like to be a child, a creator, a ruler, a caregiver, an explorer, a sage, or a funny jester? Each carries its own frequency. Try them out, embody them, and notice how others respond to you and how you feel about each form. Strong posture tells your nervous system, I am safe, I am in control. It creates a feedback loop. Posture shifts your chemistry, which shifts your emotions, which shifts your behavior, and ultimately shifts your outcomes. In other words, posture is not just physical, it's energetic. It's not something you simply do. It's how you move through the world. So the next time you're feeling anxious, nervous, or disconnected, straighten your spine, lift your chin, breathe, and feel yourself return to center. Chapter 4, Facial Expression. Nonverbal energy transfer. Your face tells the truth, even when your words don't. Facial expression is one of the most immediate and powerful forms of nonverbal communication. It transmits emotion, intention, confidence, and energy. Before someone hears your voice, they read your face. And before you speak a word, your nervous system is already reacting to your own expression. This works both ways. Your expression affects your chemistry, and your chemistry affects your expression. A relaxed face signals safety and helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system, calming the body and grounding you in presence. On the other hand, a tight jaw, furrowed brow, or a blank stare can trigger a subtle stress response. Not just in others, but in you too. Even a slight smile can increase dopamine and serotonin levels in the brain. There's a well-documented phenomenon. When you look in the mirror and smile, even if it's forced, your mood can improve. Why? Because your body is always listening. Your nervous system listens to your face. Your face isn't just for expression. It's a biofeedback mechanism. In training and in daily life, athletes and warriors know this. The face must stay relaxed under stress. Whether you're throwing a punch, running a sprint, or facing conflict, facial tension increases mental noise and shortens your breath. Try this. Do a few push-ups or hold a plank, and then notice your face. Soften your eyes. Unclench your jaw. Breathe through your nose and feel the shift. That's your nervous system responding. People form impressions within milliseconds of seeing your face. A tense or blank expression can make you seem cold, closed off, or unapproachable, even if you're just deep in thought. On the other hand, a calm, open face signals presence, trust, and emotional availability. Your expression invites people in or keeps them out. When others feel seen and safe around you, they're more likely to connect, follow, or open up. Use the mirror, not to judge, but to observe. Look at yourself in a neutral state, and then soften your gaze, relax your brow, and add a gentle smile. Notice the difference in how you feel, not just how you look. This is not performance. It's practice. It's a training ground for self-awareness and subtle control. Ask yourself if you scowl when you think, if you default to a blank or tense expression, and if you can stay open and calm even under pressure. Emotions show up in the body, and they often surface first in the face. Pay close attention to your expressions when frustration, anger, or fear kicks in. You don't need to suppress how you feel. Just stay aware. Softening your face, even slightly, can signal safety to your nervous system and bring you back into control without shutting down your emotions. That's emotional strength. Not stuffing it, but staying present within it. Start paying attention throughout the day, during conversations, while working, or when you're alone. Each time you shift your face, you shift your nervous system, and with it, the energy you transmit. Facial expression is presence in motion. Train your face, and you train your state. Chapter 5. Focal point. Where focus goes, energy flows. Your focus is your power. Where you place your attention, you place your energy. In yoga, this is called drishti, a steady gaze or focal point used during postures to still the mind and bring awareness into the body. It's a practice of mental and energetic alignment. In life, Your focus determines your experience. Focus on the obstacle, and it gets bigger. Focus on the opportunity, and your energy expands. Focus on your breath, and your mind slows down. Your attention is a resource. Where you direct it shapes your reality. One of the simplest ways to sharpen focus is through movement. During exercise or physical activity, choose a fixed visual drishti, a spot on the wall during a squat, a distant tree during a run, or your breath while stretching. When the body is under resistance, the mind wants to escape. Focus holds you in the fire. It teaches you to stay with discomfort, to breathe through the challenge, and to remain present when quitting feels easier. This is how mental toughness is built, not by forcing hard thoughts, but by committing to stillness in motion and presence under pressure. Focus also regulates the nervous system. When your attention is scattered, the system becomes agitated. Your heart rate increases, your breath shortens, and your awareness fragments. But when your focus is clear, your system is settled. Focus can either amplify chaos or initiate calm. It is both a mirror and a lever. The ability to place your attention where it matters, especially under pressure, creates clarity, resilience, and flow. In other words, focus is the line between power and excuse. Most people say, I can't do this because of that, and become victims of circumstance, fixed on what's missing, broken, or in the way. But when your focus is locked in on what you want, not on what you fear, resent, or regret, you shift from powerless to powerful. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. Focus on what you want, not on what you don't. Where focus goes, energy flows. Chapter 6. Breathing. The anchor of the moment. Your breath is the remote control for your nervous system. It's the fastest, most reliable way to change your state. From anxious to calm, from scattered to focused, from reactive to responsive. Most people go through life unaware of their breath. They breathe shallow, tight, and fast, especially under pressure. But when you become conscious of your breathing, you reclaim control over your body, your mind, and your energy. Every inhale energizes, every exhale calms. If you can control your breath, you can control your life. Breath is always with you. It's always available, and it's always training you. Whether you realize it or not, the question is, are you training it on purpose? In yogic philosophy, breath is more than a physical act. It is prana, the vital life force. Every inhale draws in energy. Every exhale releases tension and toxins. When we engage in breath work intentionally, we're practicing pranayama, the control or expansion of that life force. Pranayama techniques are ancient tools for balancing the mind, body, and spirit. Through them, we regulate energy, purify the nervous system, and cultivate awareness. Pranayama isn't just breathing, it's presence, it's power, it's precision. Breathing is the bridge between the conscious and unconscious parts of your nervous system. Shallow, fast breathing activates the sympathetic system, fight, flight, or freeze. Slow, deep breathing activates the parasympathetic, rest, digest, and recover. Your breath is a two-way signal. Your emotions shape your breath, and your breath shapes your emotions. Change your breath, and you change your chemistry. Change your chemistry, and you change your state. That's power, and it's available in every moment. Breath gives you a buffer. It creates space between stimulus and reaction. One conscious breath can stop you from snapping, shutting down, or spiraling out. That's not just regulation, that's emotional mastery in real time. These breathing techniques can be used anywhere. Before a meeting, in traffic, during a workout, or laying in bed. For example, square breathing, also known as boxed breathing, involves inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, and holding for 4 again. This will calm your nervous system and sharpen your focus. Equal breathing, where you inhale and exhale for the same count, creates a steady rhythm and will stabilize and balance your energy. Long exhales, where the exhale is longer than the inhale. This will activate your parasympathetic system and reduce stress and anxiety. Burst breathing, with short, sharp inhales and exhales, will energize the system and prime you for performance. Don't save breath work just for the mat or the gym. Use it in the moment, before you speak, while you listen, or when you feel yourself start to slip. One breath is enough to shift everything. Your breath signals safety or stress to your body, and your body responds by shifting heart rate, blood pressure, and hormonal balance. Every conscious breath is a chance to train your nervous system to stay calm, present, and ready. Whether you're sitting in silence, walking into a room, or sprinting toward a goal, your breath is the anchor that keeps you steady. So breathe with intention. Make it part of how you show up, because your breath is always talking. The real question is, are you listening? Chapter 7. Tone of voice. Influence through sound. Your voice doesn't just carry words, it carries energy. The tone of your voice communicates just as much, if not more, than the actual words you say. It's a direct channel into how you feel, what you intend, and how others receive you. Think of a time when someone said, "I'm fine," but you knew they weren't. That was tone doing the talking. Tone has the power to calm or agitate, attract or repel, inspire or shut down, lead or lose the room. And it's not just about others. Your tone affects you too. The vibrations of your own voice influence your nervous system, emotions, and mental clarity. Speaking with calmness can settle your body, while speaking with fire can activate and energize you. When your tone is calm and steady, it signals safety to yourself and to others. When it's sharp and agitated, it triggers tension and defensiveness. Just like posture and breath, tone is a feedback loop. Train your tone and you train your state. Inhale fully before speaking. Project from your diaphragm, not from your throat. Slow down to give weight to your words. Notice pitch. Lower tones ground, higher tones energize. Tone is frequency. Frequency is energy. And energy is what people feel long after the words are forgotten. Your tone often reveals your emotional state before you're even aware of it. A tight, breathless tone may point to anxiety. A flat, monotone voice may signal disconnection, harshness, or aggression, maybe masking fear. By tuning into your tone, you tune into your truth. You can also use tone to influence those that are around you. Use warmth to build trust. Use firmness to set boundaries. Use excitement to inspire. Use silence to create presence. Use a calm tone to de-escalate conflict. Use a steady tone to deliver hard truths. Use a grounded tone when walking into uncertainty. These subtle shifts can change the entire energy of a room or even a relationship. And most importantly, speak to yourself with the tone you need most. Tone isn't just a technique, it's a form of self-awareness. It's a signal of your internal state and a tool to shift it. Don't let tone be a leak in your leadership. Make it a lever. Because how you say it is what people remember. Chapter 8, Word Choice. Language shapes reality. Words matter. They create reality. Every sentence you speak, think, or write is an act of creation. Words shape perception, behavior, and belief, both in yourself and in others. They can build trust or erode it, inspire action or shut it down, bring clarity or confusion. As the saying goes, with words, we shape the world, better or worse. Words are like spells. The word spell shares its root with the word spelling, which means to shape meaning through language. That's no accident. In ancient traditions, words were seen as magical tools, capable of healing or harming, building or breaking, blessing or cursing. This isn't just poetic, it's biological and energetic. Words influence brain chemistry, emotional state, and the behavior of those around you. They program the mind, yours and theirs. Every time you speak, you're casting a kind of spell. You're projecting energy, and that energy either aligns with your intention or works against it. Consider the ancient word abracadabra. It comes from the Aramaic phrase, I will create as I speak. That's not just a coincidence. It's an ancient truth. In the beginning, it said that God spoke, and creation was. You were made in that image. You carry that same creative power through the vibration of your voice. You speak, and you shape reality. Language is a habit. Most people speak reactively, not consciously. They use phrases that weaken them without realizing it. I can't, this always happens to me, or I'm not good at. These aren't just words. They're programming. What you say becomes what you see. When you speak with clarity, purpose, and power, your words carry weight. When you speak carelessly, when you're vague, negative, or reactive, your words create confusion, resistance, and unintended damage. The deeper your awareness, the greater your responsibility. If your words can create, they can also destroy. If they can bless, they can curse. Every compliment, every insult, every statement of limitation becomes a kind of prayer, and the universe doesn't judge. It just responds. So the question becomes, what are you speaking into existence? Are you calling in strength or repeating weakness? Are you aligning your words with your goals or with your fear? Your words are tools, weapons, blueprints, prayers, spells. Use them wisely. Speak like someone who understands their power. Because you do have power, and your voice is how you direct it. Chapter 9, Self-Talk. Mastering your inner voice. Your inner voice is the most consistent influence in your life. It narrates your experiences, assigns meaning, and either builds you up or breaks you down. The way you speak to yourself directly affects your nervous system, your emotional state, and your belief in what is possible. This internal dialogue is not just background noise. It's the programming language of your subconscious. Over time, it becomes your identity. If that voice is critical, impatient, or full of doubt, It wires your system for stress, hesitation, and fear. But if that voice is calm, clear, and courageous, you begin to move through life with strength and certainty. The way you speak to yourself creates patterns in your brain and nervous system. These patterns form beliefs, and those beliefs shape your identity. If your self-talk is filled with doubt, fear, and shame, it wires your nervous system into stress and self-sabotage. But when you speak with honesty, courage, and compassion, you build a system that supports growth, resilience, and strength. Your body hears everything your mind says. The words you whisper to yourself in quiet moments are some of the most powerful spells you will ever cast. Fear is not the enemy. It's the same fear that makes a coward run, that makes a warrior stay and fight. The difference is how you speak to yourself in that moment. The warrior doesn't wait to feel brave. He speaks words of courage into fear and moves forward anyway. You don't need to erase fear. You need to master your response. Much of your internal dialogue was downloaded early in life. Echoes from your parents, teachers, culture, or painful experiences. These scripts might sound like, "I'm not good enough, I always mess this up," or "no one really sees me." Unless challenged, they loop endlessly, shaping every action and emotion. Your job is to bring them to the surface, examine them, and rewrite them. Because once you're conscious of this script, you can change it. When you hold your breath, your thoughts loop, fast and reactive. When that happens, breathe deeply, and your thoughts will slow down and become more reflective. Use breath as a pattern interrupt. Inhale to expand awareness, exhale to release the lie, and then speak truth to plant a new belief. This isn't toxic positivity or pretending everything is okay. It's about aligned language, words that match your values, reinforce your vision, and shape your identity. Self-talk examples that reinforce strength include phrases like, "I've got this," "I've been through worse, and I'm still standing," "All I need is within me now," and my personal favorite, "Every day, in every way, I get stronger and stronger." These are not just fluffy affirmations. They are anchors to your nervous system, declarations to your subconscious, and instructions to your future self. Repetition rewires reality. Repetition is the mother of skill. So repeat what you want to believe until it becomes who you are. Would you talk to someone you love the way you talk to yourself? If not, it's time to change the tone. Replace judgment with curiosity, blame with ownership, and shame with truth. You don't need to lie to yourself. You need to lead yourself. Every word you say to yourself is a seed. What you water grows. Your inner voice is either a weapon against yourself or a tool of transformation. Choose wisely. Chapter 10. Meditation. Cultivating stillness and awareness. Meditation is not about becoming someone different. It's about becoming fully yourself. It's the practice of sitting with what is, without needing to change it. And in that stillness, we often find clarity, peace, and strength. As Thich Nhat Hanh once said, meditation is not evasion. It is a serene, encounter with reality. Your mind is a powerful tool, but left untrained, it becomes chaotic. Meditation is how you train it. It gives you space between stimulus and response, letting you choose your actions instead of reacting impulsively. There are two powerful forms of meditation. One is with intention, which includes visualizing goals, practicing gratitude, repeating affirmations, or focusing on your breath or a mantra. It's active. Your mind is being directed with purpose. The other is without intention. This one is observation-based. You simply sit and watch your thoughts without judgment. You don't follow them or fight them. You witness them. This kind of meditation cultivates awareness, detachment, and presence. Both have great value. One shapes the mind consciously, and the other sharpens awareness beyond thought. Meditation activates the parasympathetic nervous system, lowering cortisol, calming the body, and improving mood. It also places the brain in the alpha state, a rhythm that is linked to deep focus, creativity, and the flow state. This is the same state elite athletes describe as being in the zone, where thought and actions merge effortlessly. Over time, meditation literally changes your brain. It strengthens the prefrontal cortex for focus and decision-making. It shrinks your amygdala for less reactivity and fear. And it actually increases gray matter in areas linked to memory, empathy, and emotional regulation. Regular practice improves patience, emotional resilience, sleep, digestion, heart rate variability, presence, clarity, and internal strength. Meditation has deep roots in every ancient culture. In yogic philosophy, it's the gateway to union with higher consciousness. In Zen, it's the art of non-doing, of simply just being. In Stoicism, meditative reflection is used to align thought with virtue. In Christianity and Sufism, meditation appears as contemplative prayer. In indigenous traditions, stillness is how one listens to nature and receives guidance. Across all lineages, the message is the same. Silence is sacred. Stillness reveals. Awareness heals. You don't need robes, incense, or perfect posture. You just need a few quiet moments and a willingness to be with yourself. Start with just 2 minutes. Breathe. Notice. Let the thoughts come. Let them go. And when your mind wanders, and it will, come back. Not for perfection, but for the practice of presence. A powerful breathing technique to begin meditation is the breath countdown practice from 49 to 0. Start by inhaling on 49, exhaling on 48, inhale on 47, exhale on 46, and so on, all the way down to 0. If you lose count, don't get frustrated. Just start over. The moment of that awareness is the practice. This pattern will calm your nervous system, will anchor your mind, and it will sharpen your focus. It also strengthens self-compassion by reminding you not to judge yourself when you drift or make a mistake. Meditation won't solve all your problems, but it will change how you show up to face them. It's not an escape. It's a return to stillness, to awareness, to your true self. So start small. Stay consistent. Let the silence teach you what the noise never could. Because in the stillness, your real strength is revealed. Chapter 11. Gratitude. The practice of appreciation. Gratitude isn't just a good feeling. It's a tool to shift your chemistry and rewire your state. When you think the thoughts, see the memories, and feel the emotions of appreciation as if they were happening in real time, your body and brain do not know the difference between the moment imagined and the moment lived. This is the power of mental rehearsal. By consistently practicing gratitude, you train your nervous system to return to safety, trust, and joy, even when life is hard. Gratitude boosts dopamine and serotonin. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system. It quiets the fight or flight response and anchors you in the present moment. It lowers your cortisol and helps reset your emotional baseline. This isn't fake positivity. It's about learning to direct your perception, to train your eyes, your mind, and your heart to see what's good, even when life is not perfect. You can speak it. You can write it. You can simply feel it. Gratitude for a person, a breath, or a challenge you overcame. The key is to feel it fully. Let the image come to your mind. Feel the emotion rise in your chest. This is how you rewire reality. Think about what you're grateful for. See it with your mind's eye. Feel the emotion within your body. This simple practice activates your whole system, mental, emotional, and physical. Practice gratitude in all three phases of time. Give thanks for the past, appreciate the present, and feel gratitude in advance for the future. Gratitude across time teaches your nervous system to live in alignment with trust, not fear. Gratitude doesn't ignore the struggle. It simply allows you to carry strength alongside it. It creates new neural pathways, rewiring your brain to expect goodness, build resilience, and strengthen emotional regulation. As you deepen this practice, feeling appreciation with your whole body, mind, and heart, you begin to unlock something more. Your intuition sharpens, your empathy expands, and you begin to see life through the lens of opportunity rather than obstacle. Because when the nervous system is in a state of gratitude, it is no longer in survival. It's in connection. When you feel safe, you can feel others. When you are regulated, you can receive. This is how gratitude becomes more than a feeling. It becomes a foundation for awareness, compassion, and inner wisdom. In nearly every ancient culture, gratitude was not a side note. It was sacred. The Stoics began each day reflecting on the gift of life. The Vedas speak of santosha, contentment, as a form of spiritual discipline. In Christianity, giving thanks is a central practice of faith. In indigenous traditions, thanks is offered daily to the earth, the sky, and the ancestors. They knew what science now confirms. Gratitude is a vibrational state. It connects you to something larger than yourself. Gratitude is not a personality trait. It's a muscle. Train it like any other. Upon waking, list 3 things that you're thankful for before reaching for your phone. During stress, pause, breathe, and name something that's still good. Before sleep, replay the day and give thanks for one moment, no matter how small. You will begin to reprogram your system. not just to survive, but to experience life from a state of peace, appreciation, and power. Gratitude rewires your reality, and that's not poetic, it's neuroscience. Chapter 12, Goal Alignment. Define the what, why, who, and how. Setting goals isn't just about ambition, it's about alignment. Your goals must reflect what you truly want, why you want it, and who you need to become, and how you'll take action. This chapter breaks that down so you can create goals that don't just inspire you, but transform you. First, define the what. Your what is the clear and specific outcome you want to create. Not a vague idea like get in shape or make money, but something tangible, measurable, and inspiring. For example, lose 20 pounds and feel confident shirtless, or save $10,000 for an investment, or launch a coaching business that serves 100 clients. Your goal should excite you. If it doesn't stir your spirit, it won't move your feet. Write it out clearly, see it, speak it, believe it. Next, understand your why. This is your fuel, your emotional leverage. Your why needs to be strong enough to carry you through resistance, setbacks, and fear. Surface reasons won't cut it. You need to go deep. Ask yourself what your life will look like and feel like when you achieve this, and what it will cost you if you don't. You need both positive pull and painful push. Write out the emotional impact of both succeeding and failing. Revisit this when your motivation dips. It will remind you why you started and why it's worth it. Then you need to consider the who. A goal doesn't just ask for your effort, it asks for your evolution. To accomplish your goal, you must become the version of yourself who can achieve it. That means deliberately stepping into a new identity. You don't wait until the goal is reached. You start living like the person who reaches it now. Define the qualities of that version of yourself that is disciplined, consistent, resilient, organized, focused, adaptable, mentally strong, and so on. Write this version of yourself in full detail. Make it real. Speak as if you are already becoming them, because you are. Finally, create the how. Now that you've defined your what, why, and who, it's time to map out the how. Action turns desire into reality. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Start with what you have, where you are. Break the goal into clear milestones. What do you need to do weekly? What do you need to track? Who can support you? What resources do you need? Track your progress. Adjust when needed, and keep going. Execution beats intention every time. Your action plan isn't just a checklist. It's a commitment to your future self. Goals are not just a destination. They're transformations. They shape you, stretch you, and sharpen you into someone greater. Define them with clarity, pursue them with heart, and become the kind of person who finishes what they start. The real victory isn't crossing the finish line. It's who you become on the way. Chapter 13, Visualization. See it, feel it, become it. Visualization is more than imagination. It's mental rehearsal. It's your mind's way of practicing success before it happens. As I mentioned before, the brain doesn't fully distinguish between what's real and what's vividly imagined. And that's the power of this tool. When you visualize with clarity, you activate the same neural pathways and physiological responses that real experiences would trigger. Your breath shifts, your muscles engage, your focus sharpens, your nervous system enters a state of readiness. This isn't just about picturing a moment, it's about living it inside your body before it happens in the real world. To visualize with power, start by thinking about what you want to experience and defining it clearly. Then see it in vivid detail: location, colors, people, timing. Next, feel the emotions: confidence, peace, gratitude, strength. Think, see, feel. That's how you install the experience into your nervous system. This full body, full mind approach does more than create motivation. It builds belief, strengthens your identity, and calibrates your actions to match your intentions. Visualization places the brain in the alpha state, the same brain frequency as meditation, where creativity, intuition, and flow live. This is the zone that athletes talk about. It's a state of calm readiness. The more time you spend here, the more you train your body and mind to operate at peak performance. You can use visualization for rehearsing goals in big moments, reducing fear and anxiety before challenges, building confidence and emotional control, and preparing for high-stakes interactions. Visualization also strengthens intuitive and empathic ability, especially when combined with deep awareness of your body and state. When you're conscious of your posture, breathing, facial expression, and focus, you can feel more. You sense your own energy, and that makes you better at sensing others. This internal awareness becomes external perception. That's leadership. We'll build on this when we dive into situational awareness and the ability to read others. But it starts here, with the mind, the body, and the intention behind your inner vision. Done consistently, visualization makes you a creator, not a reactor. You stop waiting for change and start aligning with it. You begin to live not from the circumstances you see, but from the future you've already rehearsed. Chapter 14: Physical Activity. Movement as a form of mastery. Movement is more than exercise. It is the gateway to self-mastery. It builds discipline, sharpens focus, and expresses who you are without words. The body is the first tool you learn to command. And when you train it with intention, you also train your mind, your nervous system, and your emotional resilience. Each rep, each breath, and each challenge becomes a mirror for how you show up in life. Physical activity isn't just about how you look. It's about how you move through discomfort, how you breathe under pressure, and how you reclaim control of your internal state. This is where self-talk becomes embodied. It's where visualization becomes action, and it's where the words you speak to yourself get tested in motion. Movement is one of the most powerful ways to regulate your nervous system. It provides what I call a chemical flush, helping you burn off stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, while releasing dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins. As a result, these biochemical shifts elevate your mood, sharpen your thinking, and help reset your baseline. Physical activity is also a safe space to reframe emotional triggers. When your body is under pressure, you can practice calming your breath, shifting your inner voice, and anchoring new mental patterns. Over time, you learn to face stress with presence, not panic. And in doing so, this rewires your responses physically, emotionally, and chemically. Whether you're lifting weights, practicing martial arts, hiking, swimming, or walking with awareness, movement becomes meditation when done consciously. Your breath becomes the metronome, your body becomes the canvas, and your mind becomes the observer. This is where the flow state emerges, what athletes describe as being fully present, in rhythm, and deeply alive. This state is associated with the alpha brainwave pattern, the same state cultivated in deep meditation and high-performance visualization. In movement, you don't just train your body, you integrate your entire system. Across cultures and centuries, some of the oldest physical disciplines have always included breath, rhythm, and intention. Yoga unites posture, breath, and concentration to purify the body and still the mind. Martial arts combines physical technique with mental presence, emphasizing respect, timing, flow, and awareness of self and opponent. Dance, especially in indigenous and spiritual traditions, is a sacred form of expression, communicating emotion, invoking spirit, and releasing trauma through rhythm and movement. These practices all point to a deeper truth. Movement is medicine. Movement is prayer. Movement is power. And when you bring breath into motion, exercise becomes ritual. When you move with that kind of presence, every session becomes sacred. Physical activity is a daily act of showing up. It's a promise you keep to yourself. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. It's not about punishment. It's about power. How you move is how you live. Modern science now confirms what warriors have always known. The three most important areas to train for performance and longevity are your heart, lungs, and quadriceps. Together, they form the engine, the fuel system, and the foundation of your body's power and endurance. So move with purpose, move with grace, move like the person you are becoming. Chapter 15, Situational Awareness. Eyes wide open. Situational awareness is more than just paying attention to your surroundings. It's about waking up to the entire moment, both outside and within. It's the fusion of internal mastery and external perception. Everything you've practiced so far, your breath, posture, facial expression, self-talk, emotional regulation, wasn't just for you. It was to prepare you to read the world at a higher level. Because the better you know yourself, the better you read everything else. Most people move through their day half asleep, reacting to noise, pulled by emotions, and unaware of what's really going on around or inside of them. But when you commit to being fully present, your eyes don't just see, they read. Your ears don't just hear, they listen. And your body doesn't just move, it responds with intention. This level of awareness begins with cultivating the observer mindset. True awareness begins with the self. Can you notice when tension rises in your shoulders? When your breath shallows? When your tone changes? Observation creates the gap between trigger and response. Before you can read the room, you have to learn to read yourself, your posture, your breath, your choice of words. Those are your early warning signs. They tell you when you're off center, when you're reactive, and when you're drifting into your old habits. The first step in mastering the external is mastering the internal. But once the foundation is set, everything opens up. With sharpened awareness, you begin noticing subtle shifts. The feeling in your gut when someone enters the space, the energy of a room before a word is spoken, the micro-expression that betrays someone's emotion, and the flicker of thought before it becomes an action. This is not paranoia or hypervigilance. This is consciousness. It's pattern recognition in real time. It's moving through life with your eyes wide open. You begin to perceive threats before they become problems, whether subtle or overt, physical or emotional. The signs are always there for those that are trained to notice. And this isn't just about sensing physical danger. It could be the shift in tone during a conversation, a tightness in your gut before a deal goes bad, a look in someone's eyes that signals something isn't right. Awareness gives you options. It gives you time. It gives you power. Every warrior, leader, and high performer develops this sense. It's not luck. It's not a gift. It's a skill. And like any skill, it sharpens with practice. In elite circles, police, military, martial arts, executive protection, they call this reading the environment. It means scanning not just with your eyes, but with your intuition. It's a constant process of observing body language, micro behaviors, tone, and energy while staying calm and collected. So before you speak, observe. Before you act, feel. Before you react, breathe. You are not just in the situation. The situation is in you. And as you move forward into the final chapters of this book, remember this. Every bit of inner work you've done, every breath, every rep, every word was training you for this. Now, you take that self-awareness into the world. You don't just navigate it, you lead it. Chapter 16, The Environment. Controlling your terrain. Your environment has power. It speaks to your nervous system long before your mind catches up. Certain places make you feel calm, while others make you feel tense. Some energize you, others drain you. The question is, are you aware of it? Most people unconsciously shift when they enter a space. They take on the energy of the room. They adjust their tone, posture, and even their values without even realizing it. But when you develop awareness, you gain the ability to choose how you want to show up. When you enter a room, take a breath and notice what changes inside of you. What does this space signal? Who has influence here? Becoming the observer gives you the power to choose how you show up in any terrain. When you walk into the unknown, observe and adapt. Let your first action be stillness. Take it all in. What is the mood? What is the hierarchy? Where is the tension? And where is the ease? In unfamiliar spaces, the ability to pause and read the terrain is power. When you walk into the known, set an intention. Don't just show up on purpose. Decide who you want to be and what kind of energy you want to bring. You don't need to dominate the environment, but you can set the tone through presence, calm, and clarity. The most powerful people aren't the loudest. They're the most grounded. They don't react to the room. They center themselves and respond with intent. Your environment isn't just about influence. It is also about safety. Reading a room can help you detect threats, whether emotional, energetic, or physical. Subtle signals like posture shifts, voice changes, eye contact, and group dynamics can all reveal tension, danger, or manipulation. Awareness here isn't paranoia, it's protection. Environments reflect. Your presence acts as a mirror. People will often respond to the energy you bring. Calm invites calm, tension invites tension. Your tone, body language, and emotional state influence the space, and the space influences you in return. This is why your awareness must stay active. You are not just in the environment, you are shaping it. Every space carries an energy signature, a kind of emotional residue based on what has happened there. You can feel it. Some rooms carry peace, others carry conflict. It's subtle, but it's real. Places where people meditate, create, or heal often feel open and expansive. Places marked by stress, abuse, or neglect often feel heavy or compressed. Train yourself to notice the signature of a space. Walk in with both stillness and feel. Let your intuition speak. This is a skill of both protection and of connection. Not everyone has the luxury of changing their environment right away. Many people grow up or work in places that feel unsafe, chaotic, or misaligned. Over time, these environments can shape your identity, especially if you're not conscious of their influence. That's why internal work is essential. When you can't shift the space that is around you, shift the space that is within you. You become the calm in the storm, the clarity in the confusion, the grounded presence that does not get pulled off course. You don't always get to choose the environment, but you always get to choose who you are within it. Chapter 17, People in the Environment. Reading the crowd. Once you learn to observe yourself and navigate your environment, the next layer is reading the people that are within it. This is where self-awareness becomes social intelligence. Every person you encounter is constantly broadcasting information. Their facial expressions, posture, tone of voice, breathing patterns, gestures, and even silence are telling a story. If you're quiet enough to notice, if you quiet your mind and observe, people will tell you everything without saying a word. This chapter isn't about judgment. It's about perception. You are not looking for flaws. You are reading signals. Who is grounded? Who's anxious? Who is masking insecurity with false confidence? And who feels like a potential threat? Some of the strongest cues to pay attention to include micro-expressions, those brief flashes of emotion before the social mask returns. Posture and body language matter too. Whether someone appears open and relaxed or tense and guarded. Speech patterns also reveal a lot, including volume, pacing, and rhythm that betray emotional state. Breath and tension, such as shallow breathing or crossed arms, can signal unease. And word choices matter, because repetition or emission often reflects focus or fear. Reading others isn't just about connection. It's about navigation and protection. It allows you to sense when someone isn't being truthful, when energy is off, or when a room shifts. It gives you time to respond, adapt, or even exit if needed. In leadership, protection, relationships, and community, This skill is vital. You don't need to be suspicious. You need to be awake. But here is the key. If you are in your ego or stuck in judgment, you lose this ability of perception. When you are projecting your insecurities or see others through a lens of comparison or criticism, you cloud your perception. Judgment narrows your awareness. Ego distorts what's right in front of you. True observation comes from a clear, centered place. The quieter and more grounded your internal state, the more accurately you read others. And when you're rooted in your own awareness, you'll start picking up the cues others miss. The ones that signal trust and the ones that signal danger. It's not about reading minds. It's about reading what's right in front of you. Chapter 18, Situational Dynamics. Adapting without losing yourself. Every environment brings shifting dynamics, hierarchies, unspoken rules, emotional climates. And the more attuned you are, the more clearly you can read the room and adjust your approach. But there's a fine line between adapting and abandoning yourself. Adaptability is not about people-pleasing. It's about positioning yourself with precision, maintaining inner alignment while adjusting your strategy. You can be flexible without being fake. You can shift your tone without silencing your truth. You can listen more without losing your voice. If change is the only constant, then adaptability becomes one of the most prized skills. The goal is to move with intelligence, without compromising your values, your integrity, or your identity. You don't become a different person in different rooms. You become a more agile version of yourself. Psychologists call this emotional agility and cognitive flexibility, the ability to adapt while staying anchored in your values. And this is where presence and identity anchoring matter most. Know who you are, even when no one else agrees with you. Speak clearly, even when others speak louder. Remain calm, even when the room gets chaotic. When a situation tests your character, you don't have to collapse or react. Instead, you can pause, breathe, and respond with intention. That is self-leadership. Situational dynamics may shift, but your inner compass should not. You are not here to dominate every room. You are here to elevate the room by bringing presence, clarity, and discernment. So adapt, but don't disappear. Adjust, but don't abandon. Bend, but never break. Chapter 19, Self in the Situation. Staying rooted in your identity. The world is loud. People will project their expectations, their energy, and their opinions onto you. Environments will test you. Situations will shift quickly. And in all of this, your most powerful tool is your identity. Who you know yourself to be when no one is watching. Staying rooted in identity doesn't mean being rigid. Instead, it means having a strong internal anchor, your values, your principles, your self-respect. That keeps you centered when external pressures start to build. And this becomes the real test. Can you be in any room and still be you? Not perform, not shrink, not puff up. Just be calm, clear, and grounded. Your identity shows up in real time. It's expressed in your body language under pressure, your tone when you are challenged, and your ability to stay calm when chaos erupts, and your decision-making when no one is looking. and in your follow-through on what you said you would do. These aren't traits you try to switch on in the moment. They are expressions of who you've trained yourself to be. You do not rise to the level of the moment. You fall to the level of your training. And that training is about more than reps in the gym. It's the inner reps. It's the promises you keep to yourself, the boundaries you uphold, and the self-talk you default to when things go sideways. When you stay rooted in identity, you don't get pulled into every argument. You don't need to prove anything. You walk in with peace, power, and purpose, and people feel it. So ask yourself, who do I want to be when it matters most? What values define me when things get hard? What energy do I bring into a room? You are not here to perform a role. You are here to embody who you really are, consistently, clearly, and unapologetically. Chapter 20, Adaptability. Becoming what is needed. Adaptability isn't weakness. It's wisdom in motion. It's not about becoming someone you are not. Instead, it's about becoming what is needed moment to moment without losing who you are. Life will never stop testing you. Plans will change. People will disappoint. Pressure will rise. And in those moments, the most powerful move is not resistance. It's adjustment. Adaptability means you can shift your energy, your strategy, and even your approach without falling apart. You move with awareness. You respond instead of react. You are not thrown. You pivot. You do not tense up. You align. You do not collapse. You recalibrate. This isn't passive surrender. It's dynamic presence. You stay grounded in your values while remaining open in your methods. You lead with strength, but not rigidity. You bend, but you do not break. Adaptability requires emotional intelligence, and more importantly, a willingness to listen deeply to what the moment is asking of you, to what people are saying and not saying, and to what your body and intuition are signaling beneath the noise. As your awareness deepens, so does your ability to shift without fear, because you know who you are, even as the world around you changes. The more connected you are to your breath, your body, and your nervous system, the faster you recover from stress and redirect your course with precision. Adaptability isn't just mental, it's physical, emotional, and energetic. It's instinct honed through repetition. It's calm forged under pressure. It's movement with clarity, no hesitation, no resistance. You become the stillness in the chaos, the shift when others freeze. In nature, the most adaptable species aren't the strongest or the smartest. They are the ones most responsive to change. Trees bend with the wind. Animals adjust to the seasons. Rivers carve new paths. Nature rewards the flexible, not the fixed. And just like in nature, adaptability is your edge. When you learn to shift with purpose and adjust with awareness, you become unstoppable, not because you control everything, but because nothing can throw you off. Adaptability does not make you passive. It makes you dangerous in the best of ways. Because no matter what comes at you, you do not crumble. You adjust, you adapt, you show up. If change is the only constant, then adaptability is the most prized skill. Chapter 21. Keep practicing. The show up legacy. Mastery is not built in a moment. Instead, it's built in the mundane, in the repetition, in discipline, and in the decision to show up when no one is watching. Consistent repetition leads to mastery. Every breath, every choice, every moment, you are training. So the real question becomes, what are you training for? Are you practicing doubt, practicing reactivity, practicing avoidance? Or are you practicing ownership, calm under pressure, integrity, and presence? Because every repetition becomes a pattern, and every pattern becomes who you are. This journey was never about becoming perfect. It was about becoming aware, and then, more importantly, practicing that awareness day in and day out. Who you are is contagious. Make sure it's worth catching. The world doesn't need more performers. It needs more people who are real, rooted, and ready, especially when it is hard. Your breath, your mindset, your tone, your posture. These are not small things. They are tools. They are training grounds. They are mirrors of your commitment. You have learned to observe. You have learned to respond. You have learned to lead. And now comes the real work. You must keep practicing on the days that it's easy, and especially on the days that it is not, because someone is watching, someone is learning, and someone will be changed by your example, your energy, and your presence. Legacy isn't what you leave behind. It's how you lead while you are here. So this isn't the end of our journey. It's the beginning of your practice. Now go train like it matters, because it does.